Hey, boys and girls. It's time for Uncle Jay Explains the News. Now here's the guy who helps little minds understand big news stories, Uncle Jay.
Hi, boys and girls. Well, Uncle Jay's news word for this week is a word that politicians use quite a lot, and the word is liberal. Now, very often you may notice that when they use this word, they use another word along with it, and that word is conservative. And these are the two main types of politicians who run the government from Washington. A conservative thinks that government should only spend money on things that are absolutely necessary, like maintaining defense, delivering the mail, and kissing up to wealthy corporate contributors. But a liberal thinks government should spend money on people who really need it, like the poor and minorities and wealthy corporate contributors. Now, even though these two kinds of politicians don't like each other very much, and they don't like each other very, very much, they do have some things in common. They both have heroes that they revere and demons that they despise. And they both blame each other for America's problems. And you know, boys and girls, they're both about half right. A thinks that all Americans should be free to live their lives as they wish, as long as they're not violating someone else's rights. A thinks that all Americans should be free to violate someone else's rights as long as they're living their lives as they wish. But you know, boys and girls, if you reverse those definitions, they still pretty much work. And now it's time to answer one of your news questions. This week it comes from Christina in Tacoma, Washington. Hi, Christina. And she writes, Dear Uncle Jay, my dad doesn't like any of the choices left for president. He wants to just vote no. Can grown-ups vote for president that way? Just vote no? Thanks, Christina. No, you must vote for a name that is printed on the ballot, although you can also write in the name of someone else that you like, so that you can help the person you least want to become president to be president. But no president, that is not an option, Christina, not in times like these. We need someone there on the job next January to be ready to handle the crisis that comes in February when half of America will panic because their TVs suddenly don't work. They'll tune their analog TVs to Good Morning America, they'll get Good Morning Nothing, and they'll have no president to turn to who can exploit their fear to his advantage. And none of us want that. Well, don't forget, you can see more news questions and answers at Uncle Jay's website. Send your questions to unclej@unclejexplains.com. Check back every Monday when Uncle Jay explains the news. And remember, a good kid is good news.